In this video, I'm going to make you understand about what is secondary node, secondary name node, why secondary name node, and what it does. Let us get started. If you see the name secondary name node, you may come to a conclusion that secondary name node is just like a backup name node or a standby name node. That means you may feel that if name node is down, secondary name node will become active. No, it is not correct. You need to understand that secondary name node is not a hot standby of name node. If secondary name node is not a hot standby, then what is the purpose? Let us see by seeing this diagram. I'll make you to understand. Okay, let's assume that I have a Hadoop cluster like this with say 4 data nodes. Data node 1, slave nodes, 4 slave nodes, slave 1, slave 2, slave 3 and slave 4, and on each slave there is data nodes running, right? Data node 1, data node 2, data node 3, data node 4. These are 4 data nodes which are running on 4 slaves, and I have a master machine on which I am running a name node. Assume that I have freshly installed my cluster. There are no files in my cluster. What I'm going to do is I'm going to write a client application. I'm going to use Hadoop client, and I want to submit a file, say a.txt, which is of 100 MB into my HDFS. So I'll give this file to Hadoop client. Hadoop client will store this a.txt in some blocks. Let's say it has stored in block 1 and block 2, which is present in data node 1 and data node 4. So this metadata about this file name, how many blocks this file name contains, where are these blocks present, in which data nodes they are present, all such information will be present inside name node. Name node will maintain that metadata inside RAM, the main memory. Now all the metadata is inside main memory RAM. What happens if name node crashes now? All my metadata in the RAM will be lost, is it? So we consider that name node is a single point of failure. But if the metadata itself is lost, even if I restart my name node, I don't have the metadata, right? So actually what the name node does is, whenever there is any change in the metadata, it will write that metadata inside edit log, a file called as edit log. Where does it write these edit logs? In which folder of your HDFS? If you remember, while I was installing the cluster on my master machine, I have configured a file called as hdfs site.xml. Let me go there. My Hadoop is installed inside /user/local /hadoop/conf. Under that, I'll just open a file called as hdfs sudo gedit hdfs site.xml. If you see in this file, I have configured what is a name node directory. What is the name node directory? dfs.name.dir pointing to /tmp/hadoop siva/dfs/name. So let me go there. /tmp/hadoop siva/dfs name. See, this is a folder. Inside this, there are some folders in which it will write the edit logs. So whatever changes in metadata are present in memory, those changes will be written to edit log. But if everything is written to a single file, this edit log may become very huge. It may, suppose if your RAM is say 20 GB RAM you have on your name node machine. At some point of time, this edit log itself may become 20 GB. And assume that right now B2 block 2 of a.text is present in data node 4. Data node 4 goes down. What will happen? The name node will detect that this data node is lost. It will replicate B2 inside D3. So the information where this block B2 is present is changed. That means the data inside RAM is changed. That means this edit log also has to be updated. But this is now 20 GB file. If one row of 20 GB file has to be updated, it takes a lot of time. First of all, we need to find which line is it, where it is present, and we need to update it. So we should ensure that the edit log will not grow very high. So there comes the secondary name node. Actually, once I start my cluster, secondary name node demo also starts. Secondary name node, assume that I have one more master machine where I am starting secondary name node daemon. How to start secondary name node daemon? Do you remember? Let me just say JPS. There are no nothing running. I will start my cluster by saying start dfs.sh. So it is starting name node, it is starting data nodes on master and slave, and here it is starting secondary name node. So secondary name node is started on my master machine. We'll come to the details of where I can start secondary name node next. Secondary name node is started like this. Now, what will the secondary name node do? Secondary name node will connect to name node at some regular intervals of 1 hour by default and ask, hey, give me your edit log file. It will take edit log file and will write a file called as fs image. Fs image will be stored in some directory of secondary name node machine, and this fs image will be transferred to the name node machine. Edit log will be cleared. Okay, now edit log size will be of 0 size. Assume that I am adding one more file now, b.txt, where the blocks are b3 and b4 in some data nodes. Again, there is an update to metadata. The new updates will be returned to edit log. Like that, whatever edits are happening in main memory of name node, those will be going to edit log again. After 1 more hour, the secondary name node will connect. It will take the new edit log, and already it has a previous fs image. It will merge this fs image with the new edit log, and it will create one more fs image. This fs image also can be called as checkpoint. So now how many checkpoints are there? This is checkpoint 1, this is checkpoint 2. The latest checkpoint is again transferred to name node and edit log is cleared. So secondary name node will ensure that the edit log is cleared after every 1 hour by default. We can change the interval also. We'll see the configuration next. So the edit log will be smaller in size, and fs image contains all the data. So secondary name node is responsible for creating checkpoints. Now, after this checkpoint is created, fs image is present, is again transferred back to name node. Assume that fs image is present in name node. Now again some updates have occurred in my metadata. Again edit log will be having some more data. Suddenly name node crashed, what will happen? As we understood, name node is a single point of failure. Secondary name node will not become the name node. No, it is not a hard standby. So when name node crashes, after some time your administrator might be restarting the name node again. Once name node is started, what it will do is, it will load the data present in fs image as well as the edit log. So the total is nothing but the whole metadata. We say that this edit log is replayed on the fs image and the whole metadata is again populated inside RAM. Okay. So this fs image, which is nothing but checkpoint, will help name node in rebuilding the metadata in case of failures. Who is creating these checkpoints? Secondary name node. That is the duty of secondary name node. By default, after every 1 hour, it will connect to name node, creates latest checkpoints, so that in case of a name node crash, name node will be able to recover all its metadata by loading this fs image and playing this new edit log on the fs image. That is the purpose of secondary name node. Hope it is clear. If you are not clear, please replay this video and see it again. It will be clear to you. Now let me go through this presentation. So the diagram says the secondary name node is not a hard standby for name node. It connects to name node every 1 hour by default. The secondary name node asks, give me your metadata every hour, I'll make it secure. So the secondary name node will create checkpoint, which is nothing but fs image, and then fs image is transferred back to name node. Where is this fs image stored? I already told you in my master machine. Let me show you. In my master machine, under this /tmp/hadoop siva/dfs/name, if I say ls, it is containing current. If I go to current, here will be the fs image and the edit logs, current fs image and current log. Is it? So on the master machine, the fs image and edit log will be present here under this directory. This I have configured, this folder I have configured in which file? hdfs-site.xml. Okay. Next. As I told you, the name node stores all the metadata in RAM. To ensure reliability, the metadata should be written to disk. Where it will write to disk? In hdfs-site.xml, I have mentioned the path to the folder inside this property. So the name node will write list of all modifications to the metadata in a file called as edit log. So whenever restarting of name node, whenever name node is restarted, automatically what happens? File system image, fs image, and edit log is replayed on the fs image, and the name node will be able to reconstruct the whole metadata again. What does secondary name node do according to our discussion? Secondary name node periodically compacts the edit log into a checkpoint called as fs image. Then edit log is cleared, edit log size is made as 0. Whenever you are restarting the name node will load the fs image and replay the edit log. It will get the whole metadata. Okay. So now you need to understand when secondary name node is started and how we can decide. If you have remembered in my configuration folder, there is a folder called as, there is a file called as masters. Let me show you. Under Hadoop installation directory, I'll go to this user/local/hadoop/conf. Okay, there is a file called as masters. Do you remember? Masters. I'll just cat it. Here we have written some machine name, or I can write the IP. In whichever IP, whatever IPs are listed here in this masters file, on those machines secondary name node will be started, right? So generally what we do is we make sure that name node is started on a different machine, secondary name node is started on a different machine. In whichever machine you want to start secondary name node, that machine name or IP has to be given inside this masters file. Now you need to understand one thing. Are my process running? Yes. See, when I started start-dfs.sh, what happened? It is starting name node. On whichever machine I am running this script, on that machine name node process will start. Okay. And where will the secondary name node start? Is it same? No. Secondary name node will start on all the machines mentioned inside this masters file. Many people are confused. Many people think that whatever IPs we are mentioning in masters file, on those IPs name node will be started. Many people are confused, and many people think that the IPs mentioned in masters file will be used to start name node. It is not correct. In whatever IPs you have mentioned in this file, on those IPs secondary name node will be started. This masters file is for secondary name node. Okay, and tell me, where are data nodes started? On what all machines? If you remember, you have written slaves. Whatever host names or IPs are written inside slaves, on these machines data nodes will be started. Hope now you got a clear understanding about what this script start-dfs.sh is doing. Okay. So now I want to do the reverse. Let me say I'll stop-dfs.sh. So this will stop the name node, this will stop the data node as well as secondary name node, is it? So what is this stop-dfs.sh doing? Wherever this script is executed, on that machine it will try to find name node process and it will try to kill it. Then it will try to log in by using SSH. It will try to log into whatever IP is mentioned in slaves file. On those nodes it will try to stop the data nodes, and it will try to log into a machine which is mentioned inside masters file. On that machine it will try to stop secondary name node. That's what is done. Okay. Now what I want is, this is my master and this is my slave machine, right? So what I want is, whenever I say start-dfs.sh, I want secondary name node to start inside the slave machine right now. I don't want it to start in master machine. Is it possible? Yes. So what I will do is, I will just edit sudo gedit masters. Here instead of master I will write slave, the name of my slave machine. Then I'll clear. Let me say start-dfs.sh, starting name node on same machine, starting data node on slave and master, and see where secondary name node is started? On slave. Let me type JPS. Now secondary name node should not be appearing here. I'll go to slave node. Here I'll type JPS. I should see secondary name node here. This proves that secondary name node daemon is started on the IP is mentioned inside masters. Sorry. Whatever IP you mention here, there the secondary name node will be started. So that is what I have told here. Next, the masters file. Remember that the masters file does not govern which nodes becomes the name nodes or job trackers. Name node is started on a machine where startdfs.sh is executed. Job tracker daemon is started wherever startMapRed.sh is executed. Remember, again I am specifying masters file in conf folder does not tell where name node or job tracker will start. Masters file will tell where secondary name node will start. But how does where does the name node start? On whatever machine you are running startdfs.sh, on that machine name node will be started. On whatever machine you are executing startMapRed.sh, on that machine job tracker will be started. And internally name node runs a Jetty server at this address mentioned inside core site.xml. By default the port is 50070. That's where we are connecting to see in the browser, right? So I told that after every 1 hour secondary name node will contact the name node and ask for the edit logs, right? So secondary name node will actually perform a HTTP GET request to retrieve the current FS image and the edit log. And after this FS image, current FS image and edit log are retrieved from the name node, it will merge these two files and the merged file will be posted again back to the name node. Okay. So HTTP request is used by secondary name node and name node will communicate with each other by using which protocol? HTTP protocol. Remember this. So that is the same thing which I am showing you in my diagram. So and about secondary name node, one more interesting thing. The start of checkpoint process on secondary name node is controlled by two configuration parameters. One is fs.checkpoint.period. This is a property which we have to configure inside hdfs-site.xml. By default it is set to 1 hour and you can specify whatever duration you want. And there is one more property called as fs.checkpoint.size. The default value is 64 MB. This defines the size of edit logs that forces an urgent checkpoint even if maximum checkpoint delay is not reached. So when will the secondary name node connect to name node to create a checkpoint? Either after 1 hour or either immediately after edit log file reaches 64 MB. In both the cases checkpoint process will start. Okay. So that's about secondary name node. Hope it is very clear to you. We'll meet in next video.